According to available data, the rate of violence among couples in Nigeria is considered high, with studies reporting a significant prevalence of intimate partner violence across different demographics, often attributed to factors like social norms, condoning wife beating, economic hardship, alcohol abuse, unequal power dynamics within relationship, and limited access to support services. This issue appears to be particularly prevalent among married couples in the country, with physical violence being commonly reported than emotional violence. You will agree with me that this area of discourse is long overdue. With me in the studio, much later to be part of the conversation, is a renowned counselor, Mr. Paul Olutude, who will be joining us for the discussion. You're welcome to Saturday Discourse. I am Abdullah Hajia. Do stay with us. We'll be right back. Now, let's begin with our stories. A unique opportunity has emerged for Nigerian students seeking to study abroad and enhance their career prospects. 17 universities from Turkey converged on Abuja to showcase the various courses offered by their institutions. The 2025 Education Fair was organized by Askuni Nigeria, an education consultancy agency. Ramatu Abdullahi brings us details.
The Education Fair provided an opportunity for students from various secondary schools in Abuja to gain insights into studying abroad, a journey that can help build their careers and improve their personal growth. The organizers stated that the 2025 Education Fair offers a platform for 17 Turkish universities to showcase their institutions and available courses.
So, for example, now we have about exactly 17 universities here from Turkey. You can see them from Lukman Hakim and Istanbul Manipur. So we have 17 universities here, and each university is unique. It has different courses, different tuition fee, different scholarship, different discounts, different opportunities, different campuses, and so on. Different cities that they exist, and many, many other opportunities. So that's why we come with them, so that the students will have a variety of universities to select from.
Actually, Turkey is the country that students can easily come and study and finish their education in an international environment. Because in Turkish universities, especially I can say that at the last 5 years, Turkish universities, they are getting too much demand from the international students.
The students who attended in large numbers expressed delight in the programs offered by these universities.
I've always wanted to go to Turkey, to be honest, but I never did like qualified research to know much about the universities. So Education Fair today helped me a lot, because like I learned a lot of things about universities that I never knew before, and I'm happy. I think I would consider it.
And they said that Turkey, they give scholarship in the schools that they are going to register us in. So I'm very happy for the fact that they said so.
I'm getting to learn new opportunities and get to meet more people. So it's kind of exciting.
For the significant presence of Turkish universities at the fair, it is hoped that this will further enhance the good bilateral relations between the two countries. Ramatu Abdullahi, NTA News.
Now to a bit on religion. Muslim women have been enjoined to take their role of building the home and character molding of their children seriously. Doing this, the national president of Fityanul Islam of Nigeria, Sheikh Muhammad Arabi Ahmed Abdul Fathi, says will help grow the family and the society positively. Yours sincerely reports that this reminder was given during one day inaugural sensitization meeting of the Islamic organization in Abuja.
11 national standing committees of the women wing of the Fityanul Islam of Nigeria that will spearhead activities in agriculture, trade and investment, social intervention, education, women in politics, finance, welfare, da'wah, accountability, media and social network were inaugurated with a charge to make positive impact in their respective areas and communities as ambassadors of the organization and Islam.
We want to remind them their responsibility as mothers, as sisters, and they have to stand because this country now needs them. The tarbiyya of our daughters is going very badly nowadays.
My encouragement to the women is that they should be more empowered to understand their rights and freedom in accordance with the high position Allah has given them.
The major aim is that of dawah and education, and how they can go around the world, and Nigeria in particular, to sensitize all the Muslim women and Tariqa to Tijaniya in particular on the mode and the ways our youth of these days goes about, especially their moral way of behavior. We want to discourage women wearing undecent moral dressing, talk to the women and preach the gospel of good behavior and moral upbringing.
Emphasis by scholars was placed on the need for the women to take their pride of place, guaranteed by Islam, and to seek knowledge of the religion, as well as help to propagate the true teachings of the faith, while also helping to eradicate un-Islamic practices.
We are going to swing into action, and my advice is that, as I have said earlier on, that every coordinator, secretary and their members, they should swing into action. Where they need advice, they should call on me. Where I am not able to advise them equally, I will get to my national Amira.
As the 11 committees take on their new responsibilities, the organization's leadership is entrusting them to widely consult in their delivery of the expectations of members, as certificates were issued to each committee head. In Abuja, Abdullah Hajia, NTA News.
Of course, our focus on Saturday Discourse tonight will be on the increase in domestic violence. But before the conversation segment, let's go to Isaac Chibo, who has a confidence on this topic.
When they don't have the understanding, the basic understanding between the both parties, that is when fights and violence come in. I can't give it to any party like it's coming from the man or it's coming from the woman.
When you look at our situation in the country, a lot of people are angry because of the conditions of their life. So when they come back home and somebody that lacks discipline and lacks self-control, he will pour the anger on his spouse.
If we put our trust together, and the woman should respect her husband and husband should respect his wife, I think all this issue will be drastically reduced.
Parents want their female children to be well trained, but they fail to realize that these trained female children are going to grow up to marry the male children that were left untrained. So these days, men are finding it difficult to take to their responsibilities. They find it difficult to provide for their families. When the woman is bridging the gap of provision, then they start thinking, otherwise, where is she getting the money from? Then a man that cannot meet his needs vents his frustration on the woman.
I was meant to understand that two cannot work together without agreement. So if two people should come together and agree to be husband and wife, there should be tolerance.
But when a marriage is based on sentiment, materialism, that is when when you enter into the marriage and you don't see your expectations are falling. That's when you now see you start experiencing toxic marriages, violence, because there's hatred.
Well, thank you very much, Isaac, for putting together such views and a couple of views there. What do you feel about the topic? Well, right now I have Mr. Paul Olutoday, who is a renowned counselor. And I think the right person to be with us at this moment to, talk on this particular topic. You're welcome to start with the discussion.
Thank you.
Well, you also join me to watch some of those clips, a cross section of FCT residents, giving their own views on what they feel about this topic of increased, violence among couple. You're someone who deals with a number of, couple or those that are even yet to be couple who come to you often, for counseling. What would you attribute, this domestic violence to, in your own view?
Well, domestic violence is a topical issue. A lot of people don't want to talk about it, but it's just there. It's a global issue. However, in our climate here, it's more of cultural and social in orientation. Many will tell you, well, we didn't start this way, and suddenly we find ourselves abusing ourselves psychologically, abusing ourselves sexually, abusing ourselves economically, and in many other areas. Sexual, no, abuse generally, domestic violence in the house, it's more of issues around aggressive behavior. Now the economy is a bit challenging. It's always around the families now that if the man is not doing well, he pours his anger on everyone. And when the woman is not getting her needs as expected, she becomes more verbal, she becomes abusive. The children too, seeing what is happening around them, they are being molded to be a future abuser.
Okay, well, one question I want to ask, and it's one that beats one's imagination. The same people, like somebody said in that clip we saw earlier, is two of you would have agreed to go together. You take each other to the altar, and smiles, joy. You bring all the entire family, the whole world together to witness your conjugal togetherness, and all of a sudden things start to fall apart. Why can't we manage such situations?
Well, we've come to realize that many get married without adequate preparation.
Okay.
Many don't know what to expect. They plan so much for that wedding day,
Okay.
but the marriage itself, they have not really sat down. That's where we need a lot of counseling before people get together. Know what to expect. Know that in this journey, there will be ups, there will be downs. Assuming the man loses his job suddenly, does it mean the home should collapse? Assuming the woman has a challenge, maybe health challenge along the way, does it mean the marriage should collapse? The children, you couldn't pay their school fees, does it mean the marriage should not continue? So we should prepare for what is likely to happen in future.
Okay, well, I also want to ask now. Over time, you also have the issue of disagreement. How best should we be managing disagreement? Because they say no two human beings are the same. So it means you might have your likes, dislikes. I might have my likes and dislikes as husband or as wife. So how best should we be managing areas where we feel we have gray areas?
Okay, I will tell us two things. The first one I would say is we need to develop social skills.
Okay.
More often than not, there are certain people in your lives, you know how to manage them. But when you get back home, you don't want to manage. If you have an issue with your boss, you want to find a way to manage your boss. You start developing a social skill. You need to develop social skills at home. When there is a disagreement or you sense this disagreement, what do I do to nip it in the bud? When I just say, okay, let everything lose control, then there'll be so much disagreement. But if I sense something happening, I just wear the cap of social skill. I say, okay, I try to douse the tension, So I will make sure at that point in time, that battle that wants to erupt will just die suddenly. And the next point I will bring is issue of communication. You should find a way. This is the person you'll be relating with. You eat together, sleep together, you do a lot of things together. Find a way to penetrate him, penetrate her. Communication.
Okay, emphasis most often, you agree with me, whether from the churches or from the mosque, when we talk about counseling, we emphasize the premarital counseling. Whereabouts, I don't know if the churches or the mosques also pay attention to counseling after marriage. That is where most of these problems are, so that you begin to counsel adults too. Because most times we feel it is before the marriage or before the wedding that we should do counseling. Do we also counsel after marriage?
Sure, there is the premarital counsel, and then we'll also note that counseling is a lifelong process. Okay. You keep on counseling. Maybe at some point they will tell you issues around childbearing. At times they will tell you issues around building economic base for the home. They will tell you about the future. So at every point in time, you need counseling. You need to leverage on the experience of those who have gone that journey before you.
Ego is one evil around some of these, points you've highlighted. Sometimes, as a man or as a woman, you try to understand your spouse or your partner, but sometimes our ego, kills some of this, the spirit of trying to let go so that peace reign in there. How should we be cutting down on our egos?
Well, that's simple. I will say that as a personal decision. Yes, I'm the head of the home. A woman too is meant to be supportive. However, when it comes to the issue of ego, I should understand that the home environment is a different environment. It's an issue of you don't press so much on your rights. You allow some things to go. You delegate some authority, give to everyone around, let everybody feel as if, oh, we are part of it, we are part of it. It's not because this violence also stems from the desire to gain power, maintain power, and control. But when you now share authority, you tell the children, go and meet your mom. She feels part of the government. Then there'll be certain issues whereby we want to have a family meeting. Children, mother, father, we are all discussing what do we do in this matter. There's a sense of belonging. So it kills ego.
Okay, let's also look at the issue of the abuse, both parties suffer, especially the men. Most times the women cry out a lot, but the men seem to, probably bury their own, abuse they go through. How should we also be helping the men so that we reduce the cases of just men falling and dying without,
I think I like that. It's men falling and dying because when you look, I don't have the statistics now, but you have more widows than widowers because men go more often than before the women because they will tell you the men have passed through so much, they've bottled up so much in life. How do we help the men? I think we need a lot of awareness campaign, especially from the media. The press will need to do more campaign against domestic violence. Yes, we talk more of the physical violence. How about those emotional violence? A man is seen as not to do well. A man is being compared to the next person out there, and then you dampen his confidence and you still expect him to be the man of the home. You ridicule him in public. How will the man? Most men will just sink in, go out, abuse drugs, be alcoholic, come back, and now exercise physical strength against the woman. So, but we need a lot of awareness and a lot of campaign.
All right. Well, I must thank you very, very, much for coming on Saturday Discourse and always honoring our invitation. I wish this discussion continues, but time is giving us signal to move on with other stories on the program. Thank you for coming, Mr. Paul Olutunde, renowned counselor, for coming to share your thoughts with us.
Thank you so much. It's my pleasure, always.
All right, let's move on. We'll go on a short break, and when we return, this continues. Do stay with us.
We all have big dreams, so start up your own. Download and control your line with Glow Cafe, the interactive self-service app. Free activation bonus lets you post your content online. Get additional data allowing you to gift and share data. 100% bonus on every recharge lets you unlock your creativity, recharge airtime, and enjoy live support chat with Gloria. Special data bundles let you turn that demo into Song of the
I
Year.
got seas with Glow Cafe, my ski they play, my ski they play. I got seas with Glow Cafe, my
Extra awoof data in the Glow Cafe app lets you link up and unlock your ambition. Inspired, let's turn that movie script into the next blockbuster. Don't delay. Download the Glow Cafe app today and start your own collaboration. Glow Unlimited.
A requiem mass was held in honor of the late Austin Atimo Odili, a renowned business mogul at the Holy Trinity Catholic Church in Maitama, Abuja. Odiriogboru Arutere reports that following the mass, guests and family members proceeded to the reception venue for a night of tribute and service of songs organized by friends of the late Austin Odili, popularly known as Doc. It was a night when they shared heartfelt testimonies and paid tributes to the deceased.
Victor Anyanwu of Holy Trinity Catholic Church, Maitama, Abuja, reminded the congregation that death can come at any time, emphasizing that it is not exclusive to the elderly. The reception for the night of tributes and service of songs was filled with portraits and video clips of the late Austin Atimo Odili, showcasing his warm smile. Family members, friends, and associates described him as a caring and God-fearing devoted Christian who positively impacted not only his immediate family, but also the entire society, transcending tribal differences.
My dad was an excellent man, and he always he taught me a lot in life, and I always cherish that, and I'm always happy that I've had a father like him in my life.
The most resilient man to me to walk the earth, and his legacy will continue to live.
I'll miss hearing his praises. He was my personal hype man. Yeah, and I really miss somebody to talk to, give me Bible verses whenever I'm down.
Encouragement, financially, spiritually, otherwise. When in times of trouble, he is the best person to lean on to.
A special relationship, he was not just a friend, it was actually like the older brother I never really had. Like I said, that he led a very, very sacrificial life.
And, it's been wonderful. I will miss my brother. You can see from these pictures, you will never see his face dull, always smiling.
I'm sure because his faith and his career and his family will inspire you. I can tell you and lots of people know in this room that Oxford was in church every single day of his life.
The late Dr. Austin Atimo Odili was a renowned business tycoon. He is survived by his wife, 7 children, and grandchildren. His remains will be laid to rest at his village residence in Ogbole Ugume, Ndokwa East Local Government Area of Delta State. In Abuja, Odiri Ogboru Arutere, NTA News.
Let's now join Aisha Bashir for Weekly News Wrap.
Welcome to Weekly News Wrap, the segment that highlights some of the major stories that made headlines this week. I am Aisha Bashir. We began the week from the presidency. Certainly, history has been rewritten in Nigeria as former head of state, General Ibrahim Babangida, has finally taken full responsibility with apology with his inability to complete the process of delivering what has widely adjudged the most credible election in Nigeria in 1993. State House correspondent reports that President Bola Tinubu was among the special guests at the IBB book and library launch.
Give me your marks, and I say thank you for everything, for who you are, what you are, and what you have contributed to the history of this great country.
Again, President Bola Tinubu was deeply saddened by the passing of elder statesman Chief Edwin Clark, former Federal Commissioner of Information and respected leader of the Pan-Niger Delta Forum. Meanwhile, Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, says the administration is taking significant steps towards fostering economic growth and enhancing trade within the Federal Capital Territory, in line with the Renewed Hope agenda. The minister stated this at the inauguration of 2,500 units of Karimo District Market in Abuja. Furthermore, the Federal Capital Administration has trained vice principals on entrepreneurship. No fewer than 187 vice principal academics of the FCT, secondary schools, and other stakeholders in the education sector of the territory are undergoing training on innovation and entrepreneurship education in the FCT. This is where we conclude this week's news wrap. Thank you for watching. Stay for the continuation of the news.
Many thanks, Aisha. And before we go, quickly, let's tell you the Family Worship Champions Football Club are champions of the FCT President Federation Cup after beating defending champions EFCC Football Club 4-3 in the final earlier today. Congratulations to them. On that note, we end Saturday Discourse. To join us again, same time, same station next week when we come with another topic on the Discourse. I am Abdullah Hajia. Good night.